All right, let's go ahead and get started. Jesse dropped this video right here. Let's take a look inside America's Black Militia Group, NFAC. Which, by the way, I didn't have a problem with the Black Panthers. NFAC carrying guns in the street. It's fine. That's what we should all be able to do.
First rank, take 2 steps forward.
This is the NFAC. Armed, aggrieved, and increasingly visible.
Y'all know what our rules of engagement are, right? We don't point our weapons at nobody unless they point them at you.
In an America where racial tension is raging. The group is exclusive.
Cool vest. This is the guy that was walking down the street with two firearms, two rifles in his hands.
Exclusively black. And Grandmaster Jay is the closely guarded, enigmatic leader. He's agreed to speak with us from what he calls a safe house. The group says that it's not made up of protesters or demonstrators, that it is a black militia. And we're about to meet the leader, Grandmaster Jay. He's told us to come to a secluded location.
Grandmaster Jay, by the way, has shown so much incompetence in regard to firearms and military training that a lot of people have pointed out. It's pretty laughable. It's laughable.
Where he hopes we won't be seen.
One of my jobs is to protect the identity of our members. That is why I am the only one that speaks for the NFAC. You have folks that are veterans, that are corporate execs, that are members that don't want to have to deal in their personal life with the pressures of being a part of this organization. We're going to prove to the world that we can be just as organized, just as disciplined, just as well armed, just as determined as any standing military of any government.
This guy, I just have to laugh every time I see him. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's nothing personal. I just laugh when I see him. He's so stuck on himself and full of himself and so prideful. When I see people like that, it does not resonate with me at all. And I don't think very much of these people.
Some mob in the streets that gets together on the weekends to call themselves patriots.
Why do you think it's necessary to carry weapons?
I'm not going to answer that question unless you ask that question of every other race that carries weapons, every other civilization that has gone into other countries with weapons.
She's asking you personally, why do you personally?
Police carry weapons. Weapons were invented to defend oneself. So it is only common sense that we carry weapons to defend ourselves. It is not a question. It is a necessity.
How would you describe the state of race relations in America right now?
Pathetic. There's no other word. It's pathetic. It has deteriorated to a place that is reminiscent of the early 60s. It is reminiscent of Jim Crow. It is reminiscent of the Lynch era. It is reminiscent of the days of the Ku Klux Klan.
There's a growing face-off between armed groups in the US, but NFAC insists, unlike others, they haven't committed any crimes.
Everything that we've done has been within.
As much as people hate this right here, guys, I am not against this at all. I don't care who's out there. As long as they're not out there harming people, threatening to harm, damaging property, stealing people's stuff, what's the big deal?
Unlike others, they haven't committed any crimes.
Everything that we've done has been within the confines of the Constitution. The day that the NFAC steps over the line, it will be because the line was already stepped over for us first.
The Black Lives Matter movement is vast and varied, but he doesn't identify with it.
It has been infiltrated by people like Antifa, anarchists, people who come in just to destroy, not to achieve.
See, he doesn't even understand the word anarchy. He paints himself out and presents himself as somebody who's super smart and he knows what's going on. He knows the score, and he's going to misuse the term anarchy. And it's not semantics to say that anarchy can only mean etymologically without rulers. It does not mean blood in the streets, chaos, mayhem, disorder. Anarchy simply means no rulers. And he fancies himself to be somebody who's, highly educated, he's said in many videos. And just to hear people, and not only that, he's become a product of mainstream media, the very mainstream media that he claims to hate. Mainstream media is constantly misusing the term anarchy, and he did the same thing as they do. So
anything.
Many in the very broad network firmly reject that claim. But one thing the groups share is a desire to end racial injustice.
It is the aftermath and the incidents themselves. It's not just the fact that they shot us. It's that once we're shot, as in the case of Breonna Taylor, there's this feet dragging, and there's this lack of sense of urgency.
In Louisville, Kentucky, they say
I got a question. Why don't you have white people in your group? Are you just a black-only group? And if you are, why are you excluding white people? That's kind of interesting.
they've helped peacefully push for progress, a settlement for Breonna Taylor.
Cool vest. Gotta admit, that is a super cool vest right there. That tactical vest. I wonder if it's like, is it just for decor or is it actually a bulletproof vest?
Taylor's family, the 26-year-old killed by police, and a grand jury decision now expected imminently.
What if the 3 officers involved aren't prosecuted? What will your response be?
If they decide they don't want to charge anyone, of course they've got to explain that, not only to the population that's there, but also to all of the other members of the legislature that have given this wide focus. Why? And if you can show us in the law why you couldn't do that, then we have to live with that.
Others might not. This is a year dominated by confrontation, and this week could easily bring more.
Just it makes me laugh to watch this guy inspect all these people's weapons. You know, I think NFAC is probably an important organization to maybe keep an eye on, see what they're up to. But I don't have a problem with heavily armed, any color people marching down the street. That's basically the essence of to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. If people get freaked out about it and they're concerned that, you know, these armed troops are walking on the street or whatever, well, you know, that could be construed as a standing army. I would just want to ask some questions. Why are you guys there? What are you up to? What's your ideology? What are you here for? Are you here fighting for everybody's freedoms or just for the freedoms of people with a certain kind of skin? So those are a couple of questions that I would ask them. I'd like to interview the guy myself, actually. Hey, if you enjoy this content and you want to be notified every time I upload a video, just hit the subscribe button and that bell notification icon. And if you want to support this channel, one of the best ways you can do that is by liking and sharing this video with everybody you know everywhere you can on social media. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my private free email list through my website, highimpactflix.com, and I have another website called highimpacttv.com where I'll be uploading censor-free, undiluted, unvarnished truth videos that are not messed with and tampered with by third-party tyrants and censorship lovers. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video. While we have time and it still retains some of its perceived value, maybe it'd be a good idea to convert your worthless fiat into valuable, storable food. Don't be the one who waits till the food riots start happening. You don't want to be fighting panicking people in the store over that last jar of peanut butter. At Prepare with High Impact Flicks, you can get up to 3 air and watertight gasket-sealed ammo cans, each filled with a 4-week emergency supply. 7 food varieties, 2,000 calories a day, 284 servings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and each meal comes in a resealable, heavy-duty 4-layered pouch. And it's got a 25-year shelf life. Every order of a 4-week supply gets you $100 off plus free shipping. Here's how simple it is to make. I'm going to cook up some Granny's home-style potato soup. People are going to think I'm a culinary hero. You open the pouch, boil 4.5 cups of water, stir the contents, simmer on low heat for 15 to 20 minutes, take it off the heat, then let it set for 2 to 3 minutes before you serve it up.
Man, this stuff's so good. People are going to think Granny stopped by and filled your kitchen with a whole bunch of love.
Well, if Granny does stop by, she's going to fill your behind with a whole bunch of buckshot if you keep talking with your mouth full. Wipe your dang beard off. It's embarrassing. So maybe convert some of your worthless fiat into valuable food while you still can. Order now and get $100 off of up to 3 4-week emergency food supplies at preparewithhighimpactflix.com. The link is in the description.